I call the honourable member Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to make my contribution on the Prohibition of Gang Insignia in Government Premises Bill. And there is one point that the last speaker made that I agree with, and that is what gangs typically engage in, which is criminal activity. They cover up or they try to conceal their criminal activity through their gang activities. And it is for that reason why this bill should be voted down, because it is totally hopeless. It will contribute nothing to the problem of dealing with criminal activity in gangs. It is an attempt at gesture politics that will do nothing. It is cynical, it is poorly motivated, it is a dumb bill, a dumb piece of legislation. And the people I feel embarrassed on behalf of actually are members like my good friend from Rodney, and whose name escapes me for the moment because I know his first name, but such a good, you don't need to know a friend's name to get on well with him. Mark Mitchell, a former serving officer, another member, Chester Borrows, another former serving officer, member of the police force, who will know what it means to deal with gangs, who know what they do, who know what it takes to police them, and who know the insidious business they are involved in. The one I feel most embarrassed on behalf of is Mike Sabin, because Mike Sabin, in his life prior to coming to this House, made a very honourable contribution to his community, to New Zealand, when he left his role as a high-quality, high-performing member of the police force to embark on a personal campaign to try and rid this country of the scourge of methamphetamine and methamphetamine dealing, and to educate people and families and communities about it. Because he knew, like most former serving police officers do, that the gangs are running that insidious, nasty, evil drug as a business. They do it as a business. And so any step that can be taken to address that, to do it down, to get rid of it, should be adopted and embraced and wholeheartedly supported. This bill is not that. This bill is hopeless because it does not address that sort of issue at all. It is window dressing of the worst order. Because a gang member turns up in a public library to return his or her books with their patch on their back, that is not going to address the criminal activity of gangs. Michael Laws found this out in Wanganui, and with Chester Borrows' oddly enough support, passed the bylaw, until it was overturned by the court, of course, to rid the main street of Wanganui of gang patches. And of course, all the hubbub and all the debate and all the noise they created about it, the people they ended up persuading to stay away from the main street of Wanganui wasn't the gangs, it was the good citizens and the good burghers of Wanganui, who saw all the messages, heard all the debates and thought, gee, it's a pretty intimidating place to be on Victoria Street, Wanganui. I'm not going down there. I'm not going down to the public parks in Wanganui. The shops are closed. It did end business, good businesses, that were dependent on good foot traffic and were destroyed by that silly gesture. And what has happened to gang activity in Wanganui? Nothing. Nothing has changed. They are still there. They are still there doing their nasty, evil trade, their nasty, evil business. They still wear their gang patches in most of Wanganui. It did nothing. It did nothing. And so that's the problem with this bill. It makes members who feel inadequate, gives them the ability to stand up in this House, puff their chest out, sound tough, look like they're doing something, but actually they're doing nothing. That's the disappointing thing about this bill. And what is very sad is that we have come all this way. After all these years, this government has been able to do nothing to address the very serious problems of gang-driven, gang-inspired crime. And this bill is a joke. It will achieve nothing. It does even less. And it's for that reason that it should be voted down.
I call the honourable member Mark Mitchell.